All right, Brady Quinn here with the Hall of Famer, the four-time Super Bowl champ, the one and only Joe Montana. Joe, how you doing? Thanks so much for taking the time to join me.
My pleasure, man. Doing great. Appreciate you having us on.
Well, look, I got to ask you when you look at your career, everything you went through, the success that you had, and now you look at a guy like Tom Brady, who at 43 years old is now in his 10th Super Bowl, trying to win his seventh ring. How does that strike you? Do you marvel at it?
Yeah, I think it's pretty crazy to be able to go through that. I mean, it's obviously a little bit different with not getting hit as much, and how those big time those guys used to plant you in the ground, and makes a little bit of a difference. And I always like to say it makes the game easier for those guys. But don't get me wrong. When I say easier, it's still not easy. It's still hard. And to make it that long and have that kind of success, yeah, it's pretty amazing what he's been able to accomplish.
When you look at the explosiveness of this Kansas City Chiefs offense, it kind of reminds me as a young kid watching you with the San Francisco 49ers with Bill Walsh and Jerry Rice, and just how unstoppable you guys were. Do you see some similarities between what Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, and Patrick Mahomes with guys like Tyreek Hill have been able to do?
Yeah, it's amazing when you have a crazy talent behind the center. So I think he makes that offense obviously go and do what it does. But he's got some speed on the outside and got some big playmakers, and they're hard to keep down. I think this is going to be an interesting one. You've got two great quarterbacks who don't mind being behind and don't care how far behind they are. They're not going to quit on you. And I think it's going to be a great game. And the Chiefs are, yeah, I got to pull for the Chiefs. I was a Chief. But, Brady and that gang I think are playing probably the best they've been playing all season right now.
There's no doubt about it. And I got to ask you about just Tom Brady. And after 20 years in one place, he decides to go down to Tampa. He decides to be a part of the NFC. And in just 1 year's time now, he's been able to win an NFC championship and go to a Super Bowl. Talk to me about how hard it is, especially later in your career, to transition from, for example, from San Francisco to Kansas City, like Tom's doing from New England to Tampa Bay.
I think in some ways, I really didn't want to leave San Francisco. So I think that was the tougher part for me. Um, I think he wanted out of New England, so it's a little bit different. But even when I got to Kansas City, there's a different mind. You have a different mindset. You have a freshness about what you're doing. Um, Going to a place like Kansas City, the people in town were awesome. The fans were absolutely insane for the Chiefs. We had a very, very good football team. Probably should have gone to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, we made a mistake and lost the game late in the year. And instead of playing at home in 50 degrees and sunshine, we had to go to Buffalo in that crazy weather. But I think the transition's easy for him. I think you can see there's a different life in his step a little bit and an excitement. And then he brought down his knucklehead friend with him. And so that helps him a little bit also get through that transition. And I think everything in the beginning, no matter who you are, they still want to see you be able to play at the level that you played at the prior team. And it didn't take him long to show that. Everybody had a little doubts, but look at the weapons he's got on the outside, and transition for him, my guess was easier than everybody thinks.
Joe, winning back-to-back Super Bowls is something you know all about, and obviously that's what this Kansas City Chiefs team is attempting to do. Talk to me about how difficult of a task that is to try to win in back-to-back years.
Well, it's hard enough getting there once, and going back for the second time in a row. You have a little bit more of a comfort level. You're playing against a great team, though. With the Bucks, but it is a little bit easier. And I'm just curious on how them not going down there till Friday, makes on a game. I think it's just making a normal road trip out of it. But we'll see how it affects them. I think it gives them a little bit more control over the guys to make sure no one comes down with COVID and misses this game. So it's hard. I won't lie. It's hard getting back here. I think once you get there, it's a little bit easier. It's that road to getting there, and everybody's doubt that they can't repeat again. But offensively, they're a power too. And then you look at their defense, and I was watching last week. Well, those guys were covering pretty well. I think if they're going to stop this team, they're going to have to be able to cover. And I know they're going to play man to man. I know they're going to, double guys, and they're going to come after the quarterback, and rightfully so. I think that's about the only chance you got is if you can get to Brady and make him get rid of the ball faster than he wants.
Joe, the Bucks get to play in their home confines. What advantage do you think that will have for them in this one?
Um, I don't know. We played at Stanford in our second Super Bowl, and it made it actually a little bit more difficult because you had a lot more people around you that you knew. So people were a lot more phone calls, a lot more people showing up at your house, friends, relatives. I don't know, what they've done with the Bucks, whether they put them in a hotel or let them stay at home. But I think being around your home city, while it's great for the home city, I don't think it's as easy as it is on the players. The players have a little bit more rough because there's a lot more distractions when you're home.
What are you looking for most out of this matchup?
Wow, it's one of those things, right? Everyone's expecting it to be 38, 35. So you get two powerful offenses. And typically, when that always happens, you start looking around and people forget about defense. And I think that's the biggest key, which defense can hold the other quarterback down. And, the thing about Patrick Mahomes is that he's mobile. And, you try to get to him, he makes as many plays out of that pocket as he does in. Different story with Tom. Tom's going to stay on that spot, and you got to get him to move. But I think you're going to see the ball. I'm expecting a lower score game. I don't know why. I just have this feeling it's going to be at the most 24, 21, 21, 17. It's just, it always goes against what you think when you think, well, we got these powerful offense and they're going to score a crap load of points. And they might, but for the most case, I think you're going to see guys are going to try to run the ball, control the ball, and, have some long drives. And, Brady's going to throw it up down there. He's got, I don't know. I think you're going to see the ball run more than you think in this game.
Okay. Hey, before I get your prediction for the game, I got to talk to you about your pregame routine now because you partnered up with Guinness, and I assume your pregame routine is a little bit different now than it used to be back when you were playing. Tell me about sitting back watching the Super Bowl and how Guinness is going to be a part of it.
Well, I got involved with Guinness. It was kind of a natural fit for me. When I was approached by it, they really had no idea that I fell in love with Guinness back when my two daughters and Jennifer, my wife, were jumping horses, and our trainer talked us into going to Dublin to buy a bunch of horses, bring them back, keep the ones you wanted, sell the other ones. They're a lot cheaper, believe it or not, than trying to buy good horses here in the U.S. So her partner Charlie said to me one day, "Hey, when these girls are done jumping, we should go get a pint." And I was like, "Okay." I'm probably like most people. You look at Guinness and you think it's big and heavy, and really, it's not. It's light, it's smooth, and calorie-wise, it's low, a lot lower. But when I got there, we get to the pub in Dublin. Charlie goes to order the beer, and he comes back, and I go, "Charlie, where's the Guinness?" He goes, "No, you got to wait, man. It takes a while to pour. You got to pour it perfect." And so it's been they had no idea that I had a love for Guinness at that point. And then you add in the part with the Notre Dame alumni. It just seemed to make a lot of sense. And the commercials that are going on, the Wait For It, the first one, and now the GOAT one, really talk about responsibilities. And the GOAT one is about there's greatness inside of all of us that we're trying to find and have people reach out and look. It's been a tough year. We all know that, but you got to get up. Someone's got to find that inside themselves and help the other people around them who are struggling make themselves better. And that's kind of where we are. We've got this handled. You just got to relax and sit back and do the things that you think will help us all get through this. And they've been fun. Great group to work for and very responsible. And the responsible part of it too is a big thing. If you're going to indulge in it, just do it responsibly here.
There's no doubt. And Joe, here's the next time you and I get to see one another. Hopefully we can share a Guinness together. But hey, before I let you go, got to get your prediction for this game. I know you've talked a lot about it. How do you see this one playing out? Who wins?
I think I got the Chiefs. If I did, I think Brady's going to be really difficult to beat. But I think if anyone can do it, I think the Chiefs got the offense and the power to score with them. And you just got to get to Tom. If you can get to him, the Chiefs, come out on top. And I'm picking the Chiefs 27-21.
All right, there it is. From the Hall of Famer, the 4-time Super Bowl champ, the GOAT, Joe Montana. Joe, thanks so much for taking the time to join us here at CBS Sports HQ.
Appreciate it, Brady. Take care.
Yes, sir. Go Irish.
Go ahead. Go Irish.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.